Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. We got a sponsored video today. And if you want a sponsored video, see the pinned comment below, pay me $50, and I'll do a video about whatever you want. I don't do stock price predictions, and I don't do stock valuations. In this video, we're going to react to a Meet Kevin video about the pardoning of Trevor Milton, or whatever his stupid name is. The former, I believe, CEO of Nikola, the disgusting fraud company. Because if you give Trump a donation for his election, he will then give you a pardon. That's how it works. You commit a crime, you commit fraud, you donate money to Trumpy, and Trumpy pardons you. Make fraud and crime great again, I guess. So let's go ahead and react to this video. Sponsored video, excuse me. So here's Geodis here. Let's see what old Trumpy Poo has to say.
But I was, they say it was very unfair.
The pardoning of Trevor Milton is an absolute, disgusting, inexcusable low for Donald Trump. They're not trying to bag on the whole Trump administration here, but Donald Trump literally just seconds ago, I see the update right here, Reuters, Trevor Milton did nothing wrong. Trevor Milton was treated very unfairly. Donald Trump, that's bullshit.
Okay, so we have a proven fraud, Meet Kevin, who did FTX, sold his stocks like a moron back in 2022, listed an ETF that massively underperformed the market. Basically, has just done nonstop grifting and lying, and in my opinion, fraud, because he presents himself as a good investor when he's absolute freaking garbage. Meet Kevin here, Mr. Drink-A-Lot, is mad because Trump pardoned another fraud. Do you see the irony here?
We have just witnessed the most pure. Nobody knows cronyism better than Donnie T. Financial fraud is theft. When you steal from American investors who want to invest in American companies and make money, and you get a fraud like Trevor Milton who steals money from them, that person belongs in jail.
A little ironic. Now, Kevin isn't directly stealing. He isn't directly stealing. He's in the nebulous gray area. But what he does is presents himself as a good investor and then loses insane amounts of money. Pumped a literal fraud, FTX, and got paid for it. And he's getting mad about Trump's pardon. This is ridiculous. Okay? It's like if I went and got a DUI and then I made a video, oh, you got a DUI, what are you doing? Clown world.
That person was sentenced to 2 counts of wire fraud and 1 count of securities fraud by a federal jury in 2022. The bastard has been on bail for after being sentenced to 4 years in prison. He's been out on bail during his appeal, which is total bullcrap because it's let him.
Look, in America, financial fraud is not punished as harshly as like regular crime. Okay? Because it's freaking rich people. That's how it works in America. Welcome to United States. God bless America. If you're rich, you can do whatever you freaking want. Duh.
Let him sit there and make videos talking about how he's just misunderstood. We all know, all the investors know what happened. We saw Trevor Milton say they had made breakthroughs in their hydrogen and EV hybrid technology, and that they had working technology, and that hydrogen EVs were the future. In other words, part hydrogen, part battery. And it was a great premise. This idea that you could, in 5 minutes, fill up your tank and then keep going with the battery, this sort of combo, was brilliant. It was also
I wonder if Kevin invested in this stock. I bet he did.
so brilliant because the pitch was that if you have hydrogen and EVs, you would actually create the cars, which then induce the demand for fueling hydrogen vehicles in the first place. The premise was brilliant. But then to showcase the technology, rather than telling us that the technology actually works, They showed us that the technology works, and they're like, see, look at our beautiful truck. And they show someone driving a semi-truck down a hill. It looked pretty flat. Turns out only later that we found out it was on an incline. And the vehicle wasn't actually running. They just rolled
Did that just run a stop sign?
it down the hill, which is the now infamous example of how to fraud retail investors by blatantly lying. And
yeah, retail is easy money. All of Wall Street, all the scammers, all the scum, including Kevin, see you as a mark. They suck you dry, both literally and metaphorically. They suck every dime they can out of you. But yes, there's different levels of fraud. And obviously Trevor is at a higher level. But it's all vulturism, okay? That's why I say index funds. It's hard to get scammed out of a total world index fund. But every time you listen to these clowns, either on Wall Street or these CEO scumbags or people like Kevin, you're going to get clapped. Garrett frickin' Teed. But maybe next time it'll be better. Duh!
And it's disgusting. And he was sentenced for fraud and convicted of a 4-year prison sentence. The guy sold, knowing his fraud was a fraud, sold $400 million worth of Nikola stock while it was public. It just got delisted, by the way. They went bankrupt. Sold $400 million of Nikola stock because he knew what he was doing was perpetrating fraud. And now Trevor Milton uses his $400 million, whatever's left over of it, maybe $150 million or whatever's left after taxes and, whatever he's blown his money on. He hired Pam Bondi's brother. Pam Bondi is the Attorney General of the United States, and bam, wow, you have a direct line to the president. And apparently...
And I'm proud to be an American. Oh, wait, no, I'm not.
Having a direct line to the president with money still buys you freedom in America.
What was your reason for pardoning Trevor Milton?
Highly recommended by many people that was taken advantage of. He did a business deal like in Utah, as I have it. Again, I don't know him, but they say it was very unfair. They destroyed 5 years of his life. He fought for 5 years of his life, and he did nothing wrong. And he's a good person. And basically, I had these fantastic.
Oh, and he donated to your election campaign.
Recommendations about him from people that you know very well, all top of the line people. They thought it was a horrible thing.
There's some people that I know that said he was really good. I don't know anything about him, but I talked to somebody while I was taking a dump in the next stall, and they said he did nothing wrong, so I pardoned him, bro. America!
There are many such cases, by the way.
But it's okay, folks. All it took was a $1.8 million donation from Milton and his wife, per the Wall Street Journal, to the Trump fundraising campaign in October.
Kevin, maybe you should do that too.
To get it pardoned.
And they say the thing that he did wrong was he was one of the first people that supported a gentleman named Donald Trump for president.
And that, to me, is disgusting, is despicable, it's bullshit, and it's a low. We have not made America great again. We have just made securities fraud great again. And it's really nasty because we're actually seeing a lot of this happening, and I'm very concerned about this. I have not made a video about this yet. I've kind of just been hinting at it in individual videos because, honestly, I don't think anybody's going to watch a video about this topic, but it's very important. I actually think the same thing's going to happen with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is, and this is coming from the real estate side of me, right? I have a startup called House Hack.
Oh, now he's shilling House. Every video is a shill for House Hack. Okay. The problem with House Hack, I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent, is you really don't have the information. I looked at the SEC documents. The last financial statements I could find were I think 6 months or older. You don't know what's going on in this freaking company. And he's sucking in your money. Maybe it's a fraud. I'm not saying it is. I mean, it probably isn't. But you never freaking know. Do you trust this man? The FTX shill? The clown that lost all his money on the PP ETF? Blew it up, basically? You trust him? oh, but he doesn't sue.
My bread and butter is real estate. So in after the 2008 financial crisis, where dead people were getting loans and people were getting ripped off with balloon payments that they had no expectations were going to happen, or were misled that they'd be able to refinance in 6 months and when they weren't, whatever. All this financial buffoonery that was going on in 2008, that was killed by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the Dodd-Frank Act, Truth in Lending.
Okay, I don't know much about the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, but it sounds like it's a government organization that goes after financial scammers and frauds. And I love that freeze frame of Kevin, by the way, which is something that I 100% support. I would gladly pay taxes to have an organization that goes after Wall Street criminal, disgusting scum. Because I say this over and over again, all of the biggest scammers flock to the investment industry. They flock to Wall Street. It's all vulture capitalism. They're all trying to extract as much money as they can out of you when you can just buy a freaking index. So this Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, I'm not saying it's perfect. I don't know much about it, but it sounds like it's actually a smart thing because investors actually do need some protection because most of them are clueless freaking morons. I could say that with 100% certainty after being on YouTube for these past 4 or 5 years. Clueless morons, marks, gullible. Easy to deceive. I think it's needed. Let's dismantle it. Let's get rid of it, bro. Let's dismantle it.
Ability to repay requirements. In other words, lenders have to prove on their license that you have the ability to repay that loan. So now all of a sudden dead people can't get loans anymore, which seems like common sense. But when you have an unregulated, and I'm not saying overregulated, I'm saying unregulated. When you have an unregulated market, fraud takes advantage of people and makes people lose.
You don't say, Kevin. What is that, a Warcraft scimitar behind him? What happened to RuneScape, bro?
Money and makes people lose their homes, their savings, their livelihoods, and it's wrong.
FTX.
Meme coins that get rug pulled are a scam, and they're wrong. We should have, instead of people, putting meme coins together, people should do it the real way. Get licensed. Start a real fund. Like I started an ETF. I started an ETF at the bottom of the market.
Stop. Licensing is garbage. I was a licensed financial advisor. I'm not bragging. It's easy. You can be a moron to be a financial advisor. It's a sales job. I did it. Briefly. It's a scam. Yeah, as long as you're licensed, it's okay. Shut up. Stop with your nonsense. Nobody cares that you're a financial advisor unless they have no idea how the industry works. Oh, you want some whole life insurance? Oh, you want some loaded mutual funds? Scam. Grift.
Market at the end of 2022, with hedging, we returned over 24, 25-ish percent. Probably 24, probably net of fees, more like 26%.
Shut up. You sucked.
I didn't make money on it in terms of actually owning the fund, because the break even for having a fund is like $40 million in assets under management. It's a great learning experience, but I closed it just now at the peak of the market, end of.
He thought the market was going to crumble, right? He actually probably would have done well, but he bussied out though. I knew this was going to happen. Even when he's right, he's wrong. He sucks at trades so bad. Just buy and hold. God. It's so investing's hard.
End of February. But to me, that was actually a great success. We created a product at the bottom of the market and we gave people a bucket of cash right before the market crashed in March. And we
wow, he's really coping with this one. I intentionally stopped my fund because I wanted to give my investors cash because I knew it was the market top. Get out of here, dude. Seriously, this is your pitch now? It wasn't because my performance was garbage. I wanted to give my investors cash before the market collapsed. I'm a great guy.
We said, hey, be careful because things are about to get tough. And they did get tough. But the point is, that was hard. You know,
And you bussied out. You would have probably done well, bussy boy.
it took probably a year to create the fund. It probably took, the licensing and the effort and the regulation and the stress that goes into it is really hard. And most people aren't cut out for that. They'd rather just create a meme coin and rug pull people. But you can't do that when you do it the right way. When you do it the right way,
or you could just have a regular job. I don't know, nurse, accountant, HVAC. Oh, there's a lot of legitimate jobs out there. Oh, but it's either meme coin or massively underperforming, high expense ratio, garbage ETF run by a drunk. That's the only two options, bro. Get a job, Kevin. Go back to real estate.
people don't lose money. People have their assets secured because the money and securities are deposited at banks. It's not even possible to rug pull it because you don't have access to it, right? So, there's, in my opinion, there's a right way to do finance, and then there's a scam way. And
you don't say. This is turning into a Meet Kevin Bash video. Yeah, there is a right way. Avoid the entire finance industry. Buy a total market index fund and a tax advantage account. Dollar cost average with every paycheck. Put it in your 401k. Put it in your IRA. Never freaking look at it. And when you're a couple of years out from retirement, maybe consider some cash equivalents or bonds and reallocate your portfolio. That's the right way to do finance. The wrong way is watching clowns like this.
unfortunately, there are just a lot of scams. I think, rug pulling meme coins, and there's no reason the president should be touching meme coins or even associating himself or his wife with them, is wrong. And that's not to be anti-crypto. If you want exposure to crypto, that's fine. But
no, it's not fine. Scam.
I think weakening financial regulations and dismantling the SEC's involvement against fraud and discrediting, this fraud success against Milton is disgusting. And it really weakens the backbone of what we're setting up for. And I'm not talking about the next recession. We could have a recession within the next 6 to 12 months. We probably will. But we'll come out of that recession and we'll grow out of that recession. But what will happen is we'll actually probably bubble into the next, through the next cycle, will really bubble up because fraud will be eligible to run rampant again. Disgusting lending practices will come back.
Oh, he's licking his chops. Oh, more fraud. Oh, if that scenario plays out, the grifters are going to make a fortune. Oh, mommy, they're going to make a fortune. Kevin's licking his chops. Oh, another bubble. I can scam more people. Jeremy. All the freaking clowns out there. They're going to, oh my God, they're going to make a fortune. I'm jealous. I want your money. I want your grift bucks. Give it to me. But of course, bro.
And it's scary because a lot of people in the future, the longer term, 10, 15 years, will feel the consequences of the gutting of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The potential.
No, max your tax advantage accounts, buy a total world index fund, never freaking sell it. It's that easy. With every paycheck, buy it. Wow, it's so hard.
Ending of truth in lending, the potential privatizing of Fannie Freddie, and then the death of the conventional mortgage. Those things are all possible. And so I don't know what all of the outcomes are going to be, but I wanted to have sort of this, just my sort of opinion on what I'm seeing. And, again, I'm not trying to paint the whole Trump administration as this. I'm just telling you this Trevor Milton thing is disgusting and it's a low. I think gutting the CFPB is a big mistake. And I think meme coin rug pulls are disgusting. It shouldn't be legal. But it's worse now because not only are those things becoming legal, you're basically condoning those things, so you're encouraging more of it. And the second thing you're doing is you're condoning more corruption in the government by basically saying, hey, if you get into the doo-doos, just make sure you donate to your favorite politician.
Guys, we're not in a bubble. No, it's just going to go on forever. Yeah. It's fine. Everything's fine, guys. All this fraud, all this degeneracy, all this clownery, it's just going to go on forever. Buy crypto, bro. Buy large cap tech, bro. Buy PPETF, bro. Buy house hack, bro.
Because they'll take care of you. That is literally the definition of cronyism, and the rich get richer and everybody else pays for it. Like all of the retail shareholders who got scammed by Nikola, they are the ones who are now paying for Trevor Milton to sit in a Utah mansion with 400 million bucks of profits. All of the people who...
You're not paying Kevin, though. Guys, no. Kevin's not scamming you. He's a good guy. You people are so stupid. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Lost money on that stock because of his lie and his fraud are paying for that scumbag. And Donald Trump said Trevor Milton did nothing wrong. What are you smoking, Trump? Do you even know who Trevor Milton was? Did you know anything about Trevor Milton 24 hours ago? I would put money on it that you knew nothing about Trevor Milton 24 hours ago. And you were told by Pam Bondi, he's a good man, a religious man, a Republican. He's a donor. Take care of him. He did nothing wrong. He was abused by the system. Bullshit.
Why not advertise these things that you
Oh, look, I'm talking to Elon Musk. Look, guys.
told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and
Shut up. All right, here's my grift. Book a free 30-minute tax consultation. I am a certified public accountant. I will do your business and or personal taxes any state in the United States. You can talk to me for free. I give you upfront quotes, and I'll prepare your taxes like a boss. Taxes are due by April 15th. Even if you plan to extend, you must still pay your taxes by April 15th. Book a consultation. Pay me money. We'll do an estimated payment. We'll file an extension. And then when your taxes are ready, we will complete them. Chop, chop. Time's a ticking. Yeah, please pardon SBF. Please. Bye, 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 bye. Yeah, we were little bussy buddies. Kevin the Degenerate Alcoholic Trust Fund. Well, isn't it his wife that has the trust fund? Tesla dropped 10% in one day. This is stressing out the retailing. Good. I love when you're stressed. It makes me happy. I'm having a ball. Oh, the world's going to zero. Oh my God, tell. Clowns. You're all a bunch of performance chasing chumps. All of you. I've said it from the beginning and I've been proven right. Don't you love that spin? Strawman was right. Me, Kevin took. He's always going to spin it as a positive. Oh, I give you your money back. I just knew this was going to happen, so I gave you your money. Come on, dude. Shut up. God, evil. Let's see. Crypto is not. Yeah, that's right. It's not gambling. It's the future, bro. Do a video on these YouTubers telling Anthony Noto how to do his job. Stephen Fiorelli, Tan. Oh, God. Oh, man. Little retail shills. They're all scum. We've never had crypto during a serious long-term crash. I can't wait to see. Oh, dude, crypto got exterminated back in 2022. And that was kind of like a moderate. It wasn't a crash. Okay. If we had like a 2008 or a .com bubble, which I hope we are in right now, please, crypto is going to get eviscerated, exterminated, like you've never seen before. Please, Jesus. Yeah, I'll do a sponsored video. I'm not going to watch that moron for free. Anyway, book a free tax consultation. It's time for me to take a bath. Have a wonderful evening and give me money for a sponsored video. Talk to you later. Cheers.